spent a long time with Beep today, Bleppy. You must have had a lot to talk about. But you were with him for 7 hours!
Let's begin!
Honestly, there isn't a whole lot for me to go into detail about in this review, because the core gameplay here just doesn't work 100% of the time like it should. You can play the game with 1 or 2 move controllers. Playing with 2 allows you to manually serve the ball yourself, but this is incredibly hard to do, as the ball rarely goes where you want it to. I found it very hard to even get a rally going when using 2 moves. Luckily, you can play with only 1 move controller, which basically shoots the ball upwards during a serve after you press a button. Oddly, it's easier to make the ball hit your opponent's side of the table with this setup, but ultimately, this way of play is already removing one element of making the game as realistic to the actual sport as it could possibly be, which is having 2 hands during a serve. Table tennis is all about having precise aiming, and here you just don't feel like you're in full control of the ball. How hard you hit the ball, or what position the bat is in when it collides, just doesn't have the same outcome all the time like you'd expect it to. I could get some pretty decent rallies going, and could direct the ball to the side of the table I wanted it to go in, but you really want to have pinpoint accuracy when aiming at your opponent's side of the table, which is something you don't quite get here. And every so often, the ball would completely go somewhere that I didn't intend it to go to, which is a massive issue for a game where only 1 point can be the decider in who wins a match. There is 8 locations that you can play the game in, and you can set the difficulty from one of 5 different settings, but unfortunately the graphics are a bit blurry. It is a shame because environment wise, each place does have a lot of attention to detail, and the sound ambience does a great job at making you feel like you're actually there. Online multiplayer also makes an appearance, which is always a good thing for these VR sports games. You can play in either a single match or a tournament match. You might want to make sure you have another VR buddy though, as the servers don't seem too populated right now. A collection of minigames is also present. The first can be seen more like a practice game, as a massive wall allows you to do easier rallies back and forth for points. The next is a moving goal. Here you score points if a ball travels inside it. Just like all the minigames, arcadey sound effects are present, and overall, it is presented quite nicely. The next one is precision based again, only this time you must hit a location on the table itself, which is presented as a target. The closer you get to the centre, the more points you earn. This minigame really shows just how hard it is to get the ball to hit the exact location on the table that you want it to. The difficulty ramps up even more in this next minigame, as you must hit small cans on the table. Once again, precision is a key factor for winning, and chance plays a larger role here than it should. And the final minigame turns the table into a grid. Hitting a block from the grid will remove it. This setup ensures that you're constantly having to change where your next shot will land. The minigames here are pretty simple, but are a great addition for a ping pong game, but the controls just hurt the addictive nature of wanting another go to get a high score. Trophy wise, the game does come with a platinum. I think all sports games should really come with a platinum, more so than most other games, as it does encourage trophy hunters to play another round. Although here, the trophies don't actually demand too much from you, but because of the game's controls, it's going to be hard to complete the list, especially considering a lot of the trophies require you to win a match under certain conditions. Overall, it's good that the game comes with a platinum, it's just going to be a frustrating and long trial and error process to unlock it. I apologise that this review is on the shorter side, but when a sports game's fundamental mechanics do not work as well as they should, there isn't much point in delving too deeply into other elements of the game. Now, I did have moments when the game was pretty intense, and everything seemed to be working great. From this footage, you can see a decent rally going. However, the ball is mainly going to either the left hand side or right hand side of the table. Sure, I did pick that direction, but I never felt like the ball was actually hitting the table exactly where I wanted it to. Overall, this game is presented very nicely. The menus are great, the locations have a brilliant variety, and overall style-wise, it is pretty high quality. You can even unlock new bats and balls to use. It's just the gameplay that lets it down every so often. A few tweaks in a future update, and this could be a great game for ping pong fans.
He's just really shy, Bleppy. I'm sure his confidence will grow.
I hope you enjoyed this review, and if you did, please give it a thumbs up. Hopefully with some updates in the future, this will be a decent ping pong game on the PSVR.